all the lives set up here. All my lives. I've got TikTok live, YouTube live, YouTube, and I've got Facebook live right over here. All right. I'm getting some notifications. So, we're going to be doing it again. What's going on, Kevin? Oh man, Kevin's going right in it. What's going on? What's going on, Sun 01? Yeah, man, we're right away. Apple Wash, yes. That's all I primarily use. I'm going to be trying out another one from Seattle Pumping Equipment very soon, and yeah, we're gonna try to give that a shot. So if you're just joining the live, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Facebook Live right over here, and we are answering questions for pressure washing, soft washing, business questions. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna try to get some work done, and yeah, I'm just gonna hang out a little bit and see what we can come up with. Let's see here. Hold on, let me throw out the TikTok on here so I don't miss anything. I still don't really know how to do this. There I am. Comments up. All right. Let's see here. What's going on to everyone that's joining in? Dylan Thornsberry, what's going on, man? Any codes you have to get Apple Wash? I'm going to get some. No, I'm not affiliated with them in any way, so I don't have any codes or anything like that I can shoot your way. Maybe I'll talk to them about it. See if we can get some love for this community. But oh yeah, I still got this stuff on here. All right. What do you use for property protection over outlets, lights, windows, etc.? So I'll be fully honest here. I'm not the greatest at property protection. You know, I'm just really confident in what I do. So if I see something that needs to be coded, you know, but usually, so for a while there, I was using there's shower caps. You can get shower caps really cheap off of Amazon, and like the little disposable clear shower caps, you can get those super cheap, and they cover cameras really well. They cover, you know, a lot of things pretty well. Other than that, you know, it's just plastic bags, honestly. Plastic bags, tapes, rubber bands. How often does water enter houses for your house wash? I'll answer how often I get notified it enters. Very, 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 very rarely. I mean, probably only once or twice. I remember I had one lady who got really upset because she was like, "Oh, all this water entered my garage," and she's like, "You guys destroyed the seal of my garage." And I know for a fact, so it was me and another guy, and I know for a fact that, you know, there was a gap, and we didn't pressure wash that gap, so there was no high pressure water that entered her house, or there was no high pressure water hitting her seals. I make it a point to not to hit the seals too hard because I don't want water entering in. But also it says in my contract that it's the homeowner's responsibility to let us know of any seals that are compromised. So if there's no seals that are compromised, or if they don't let us know, then it's kind of on them. But at the same time, we do take precautions to, like, for example, garage doors. I usually get really close to the garage door and shoot downward rather than shooting into the garage door. That's just something that I've learned over time. Window sills, again, I just try not to hit I try not to hit the window seals too much or the door seals too much. I try to just mist over those and just do a light rinse on those. But yeah, very, very rarely. I've had one GF outlet pop on me, and I think that's it. There's really not much that has happened negatively. I've been very lucky with that. I'd like to think it's not luck. I'd like to think it was a combination of, care, skill, all that good jazz. But it is what it is. So. But great questions. Keep them rolling in. If you guys have any questions on pressure washing, soft washing, anything like that, just let me know. I'm more than happy to help out. 1,300 square foot, 2-story house, all sides. Soft washing, siding. So I go by the linear square foot for siding. I don't go by the square footage of the house for a couple reasons. Well, okay. So one thing I want to take time to explain is that when you look up the square footage of a house, like on Zillow or Redfin or anything like that, the square footage of the house is not the actual square footage of the house. What that is telling you is the internal living dimensions of the house. So it doesn't include bathrooms, closets, interior walls, anything like that. It doesn't include any of those things. Garages, it doesn't include those things. So when I measure a house, I go on Google Earth and I measure the outline of the house to give me a perimeter. And I know that a 1-story is on average 10 feet tall, a 2-story is on average 20 feet tall, a 3-story is on average 30 feet tall. So I use that multiplier. I use the linear times, I used to do a linear square footage times the number of stories of multiple of 10 times the square footage rate. Now I just do the linear square footage rate. So let's say my linear square footage is $3 a square foot on the, or $3 a linear square foot on a 2-story house. That would put me, most houses fall anywhere between 150 to 200 linear square feet or linear feet around the house. So that would put me anywhere between $450 to $600 on a siding soft wash. So that's basically how I do that now. So 1,300 square feet. That sounds like a smaller-ish house. Is probably closer to the 150 square feet, depending on how many garages they have. So I'm gonna be anywhere between $400 and $500-ish for something like that. How long of a garden hose should I get for my 4-gallon if I have a 200-foot pressure washer? Okay, so that's a really good question. It depends where your pressure washer is going to be. If you're going to take your pressure washer out of your truck every single time or out of your vehicle every single time, you don't need that much. You need, 25 to 50 feet. If you want your equipment to stay in the truck, go with 100 feet. You're going to have extra, but definitely just go ahead and go with that 100-foot hose. Well, no, I'm going to take that back. If your stuff is left in the vehicle and you have a hose reel, go with 100 feet. If you don't have a hose reel, go with 2 50-foot sections or 2 75-foot sections. That's going to make it so that you're not having to wind up 100 feet every single time, especially when the hose bib is right there. it'll give you the option of only rolling up a 50-foot hose, which is going to save you half the time. But if you have hose reels, then go with the 100-foot, nothing less than that. All right, let's see here. So great questions so far, guys. Let's keep it going. If you're just tuning in, I am answering questions on pressure washing and soft washing. I don't want to miss YouTube this time, so I'm going to go over here and log into the YouTube to make sure I'm not going to miss any of those questions, because last time I did, and I felt like a jerk. See, look at that. What's going on, Patrick? On YouTube, showing love over there. Would love to know what equipment I'm using. Yeah, absolutely, man. So the equipment that I'm using is, I'm using an 8-gallon a minute Honda GX 690 I'm using an 8-gallon a minute pressure washer. That's using a Honda GX 690, and it's using a General Pump TSF 2021. And I don't know the unloader, it's just whatever came with it. I didn't go with the K7 or anything. It's just a simple unloader. Then I have I have that running to 200 feet of dual wire pressure washing hose. Then that's all mounted to Titan reels. I have a 100-foot garden hose mounted on a Titan reel. I just upgraded to electric reels. Those have been clutch. I love those. Then I have a 12-volt soft wash system running a Delavan 7-gallon a minute system. Love that. And half-inch proportioner. I'm going to probably be upgrading that to 3/4 soon, and upgrading the hose to 5/8. I have the hose at half-inch. And I have 200 feet of soft wash hose. I have two 55-gallon tanks, one for water, one for SH, and a 20-gallon tank for my surfactant. And for the surface cleaner, I use a 20-inch VE surface cleaner with wheels. That was a lot. Whew, got me talking out here. Lemonator surfactant. Never used it before. I know I used this one called Lemon Dancer from Seattle Pump and Equipment. Works good. You know, if it's a surfactant, it's probably going to work pretty good. You know, these guys aren't putting out anything bad. It's just which one kind of fits you. So I would say, pick up a gallon of each, see which one works good, and then kind of go from there. I have 1,200 square foot flat work, driveway to clean. I'm somewhere between 400. Is that too much? Where are you at? What state are you at? So for me, I'm at, you said flat? I'll tell you, it's so bad. I don't know my prices yet. I can guess my prices sometimes, but sometimes I'm off. So I want to get you the exact flag stamped. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm at 420 on that, because I'm 35 cents a square foot on that. So, yeah. What's going on, Captain J? I'll never forget that. Let me go back over here to YouTube, make sure I'm not. Yeah, no problem, Patrick. Thanks for dropping some comments in here, showing love. Make sure you make sure you guys are liking this video, and you're subscribing to the channels here. Yeah, make sure you guys are doing that. Need to get back over to here to make sure I'm not missing out on any comments over here. Sorry, I've got so many of these things up. I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone, because I didn't like last time how I was missing some people. It's not cool. I've been wanting to start a power wash company, but so lost on how. So, so lost on, okay, I've got all the comments up here. So Patrick, if, a lot of guys here are thinking about starting a pressure washing company, and It's simple. Okay. It's not hard. It is easy to do damage and mess up people's property. It is something that needs to be respected, and you take your time. But it's, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to do this. The biggest things are, it's the same thing that when you start any business. When I've done some coachings, some one-on-one coachings with people, the big thing that I see is that people will go get a $30,000 rig, go get a $30,000 truck, get a couple business cards, some nice shirts, a hat, and then wait for the calls to come in. And that's not how it works. I really want to say here, I really hope anybody listening to me does not go out and spend top dollar on equipment. That's not, if you're just starting, that's not the way of it. Unless you have contracts lined up, don't do that. It's not worth it. Just don't do that to yourself. Don't put yourself in that position. Instead, start small, start humble, build your way up, and let the business take care of all of the expenses. I started with a $5,000 investment. I have a truck and a trailer set up right now. We do anywhere between 30 and 40K a month. It's very doable if you take the right steps. If you take the right steps and you're not trying to go all out. Because man, I see those guys with these, if you guys look right around April, you're gonna start to see a graveyard of brand new pressure washing rigs on these channels or on these groups, and they're like brand new. It's got 10 hours on it, 50 hours on it, and I'm like, how? All up for sale. The resale market is crazy. I even thought about just buying these things and reselling them because they're great units. They're built by great manufacturers. Southeast Soft Wash is turning over tons of them. C3 is turning over tons of them. They're great units, but they buy them and people aren't making the time to learn how to sell, learn how to build their brand, and make the proper investments into marketing. Those things are the crux of everything that you are as a business owner. You got to think of it like this. And I'm going to get to the comments. I'm going to say this last piece. When you're become a business owner, you've got everything set up. You get a phone call. The first hat that you have to put on is receptionist, right? Thank you for calling Clean Pro Service. My name is John. How can I help you? The next hat that you take that one off, you put on the salesman hat. You're going out there doing the estimate. Let's even go back before that. The first hat you have to put on is the marketer, right? To even get that phone call to come in. So you wear the marketing hat, then the customer service hat, then the sales hat. Then the last hat that you wear is the pressure washing hat. But it's like we're trying to keep up with the Joneses. We see everybody's nice equipment and we want to go for that. That's going to put you in the debt. So please, if you're watching me, don't spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on equipment unless you, one, have that as really truly disposable income, and two, that you have contracts lined up for it. Wait till your business can afford it and then look to bring those things in. So let me jump to the comment. Okay, Ohio, man, yeah, very cool. Shout out to Ohio. I visited there a couple times. A lot of strip clubs over there. It's crazy. Illinois. Thank you. I'll be stopping back in. Is 20 cents a square foot cheap? T-Rod, it depends on your area. The gas isn't cheap. All of this stuff isn't cheap. I say you test the top of the market pricing. Prices are cheap. Okay, there are a few things that go into pricing. The first is, of course, your costs, right? You have to look at your whole costs and figure out what it even costs to operate your business. The next thing is your market, right? If you're in a highly saturated market like Florida, you're going to get a small margin above your cost. If you're in a less saturated market, you can get a little bit more than your cost. Then the next thing is your sales ability, right? I can close at a higher dollar value than the next guy because I've been doing sales for 20 years, or I've practiced sales. your sales ability will help you close higher ticket sales in the one-to-one market, right? One guy will close at 50 cents, one guy will close at 55 cents. They're doing the exact same thing. It's the sales ability for it. So, and it all has to do with like your trust that you have with your customer, how much they believe in your product, how much they believe in your solution, how much they believe you, how much, all of those things have to go into that. So it's hard to say this is the cost, because where one guy may get 20 cents in the market, another guy will get 30 cents all day. And that guy will be booked out. So it's there's a market value, and then there's your business value on top of that. I just bought a 400 gallon per minute pressure washer. I think you meant 4 gallon. And I'm going to wear a $10 white t-shirt and spend. Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to start. It's a compromise. It's a compromise, right? So you want to make sure that you have good equipment, but you also want to make sure that you're somewhat presentable, right? Because your presentation is a part of your branding. You don't want people to think that you're a neighbor taking care of another neighbor's yard. You want people to come up to you. You want to be able to hand out business cards. So it's a balancing act, right? Don't go out there and spend, a couple $100 on sublimation shirts. It's okay to go to the local swap meet and get a vinyl press shirt, or just something cheaper for right now, or even get a work vest, one of those reflective vests to kind of signal that you're there for business. All of those things are going to breed trust. Money on Facebook ads. Yep, Facebook ads. So Facebook ads can be a money pit if you don't know what you're doing. If you do know what you're doing, Facebook ads can bring in a lot of money. I live in Kansas. I bought an LLC in Kansas. I'm moving TWM to California. California is going to be tough, especially with their new laws for small engines. I don't know how that affects pressure washers, but look into that. What would you say is your best money maker in this business? Roof cleaning. By far, roof cleaning is the bread and butter on this. There's always going to be someone who says it's too expensive, but you have to survive. The question is like, how many of you guys feel like Rolex is too expensive? Some guys may say, oh, I'm not paying 10 grand for a watch. Some guy may say, 5 grand for a Rolex? Let me get 2, It's the values and the value is what somebody will pay, A bit of sales advice I got one time was don't spend or don't sell out of your pocket. Don't sell out of your own pocket. Meaning, just because you may or may not see the value in something doesn't mean that the customer may or may not see the value of it. So don't sell out of your own pocket. Don't try to spend the customer's money on you with your limitations in your mind. Open it up as wide as you can, and let the get another piece of advice I got one time. I was doing phone calls. I was doing telemarketing years ago, and I was talking to a guy that just had crazy good numbers, and I was listening to him, and I was like, how do you get these good numbers? He says, I give the customer the opportunity to say no. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, what he meant by that was, if you don't ask, the customer doesn't have the opportunity to say no. So if I say, it's going to cost you $450 to get your pressure washing done, to get your driveway done, or your house siding done, or whatever. You have to give them the opportunity. It goes. I try to get the customer to tell me no, right? If I want them to tell me yes or no. I don't want them to give me this wishy-washy answer. I don't want them to be on the fence at all. I want them to be definitive with me. I want them to be definitive with me. So I want the customer to tell me yes, or I want them to tell me no. So I'll say something like, your home siding soft wash is going to be $450. Can I get you on the schedule tomorrow? And they'll say yes or no, or they're like, oh, let me think about it, And I try to force them into yes or no scenarios. But yeah, giving them the opportunity to say no has been a really big piece of advice that I've gotten in sales that I really like. These are great. We got Nashville in here. We got Ohio in here. Nobody on the West Coast, I see. Nobody on the West Coast. And if you're just joining us, I'm answering questions about pressure washing and soft washing. If you have any questions whatsoever, please drop them in the too expensive out there. Yeah, West Coast is crazy. West Coast is crazy. It's like people are renting houses for $3,000. Like 3-bedroom houses for $3,000. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Like it's disgusting. Yeah. And if let me see. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Got YouTube. I've got boom. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. That's going to help the algorithm have more people find this live. Get some more good information out there. Percentage mix on a metal roof. So I like to go hot on a metal roof. 5-6%. Okay, so metal roofs are tricky. I don't like to do metal roofs because they are an absolute water slide. They're really tough. So metal roofs, step one. You can X-jet it. You can X-jet it, but you have to look at the chart and you have to make sure that your dilution is going to be hot enough. So if you're running a 4-gallon, if you're running a 4 to 8 gallon, an X-jet open should be hot enough to do a metal roof. That shouldn't be a problem. So metal roofs, first step one, you kind of blow off any of the debris. So if it's under trees, sometimes you'll get barns, they'll be under trees, metal roofs like that. Here's an important thing. If you are using ladder stabilizers on a metal roof, make sure they're padded, because you will scratch the hell out of out of a metal roof if you do not have them padded. That sucked. Had to repaint a metal roof, but yeah, that happened. So make sure you're using padded stabilizers. Stuck on pollen is the worst. Yeah. So what I do is, first thing is I rinse down the metal roof, and I rinse down just the section that I'm working on. Metal roofs are turned into like an absolute oven or a stove, and what will happen is if you put chemical on it, it will cook the chemical and cause flash oxidation, which we all know is bad. You don't want to oxidize the roof or oxidize the metal. So what you have to do is first cool it down. You take the water, you rinse it until it's nice and cool. Step two is you apply a treatment. The treatment needs to be hot, like a 5 to 6%, and you want to use a lot of surfactant. I use heavy surfactant when I'm on a metal roof, because we want that chemical to stay right where it is. We don't want it to move around a lot. So that surfactant is going to help do that. Step three is you give it 15 to 20 minutes to work, but you have to keep it wet. If you let it dry, again, you can run into oxidation. Step four, you rinse very, very thoroughly. And that's going to make the roof just look fantastic. It's going to look brand new. So if you do all those steps, metal roofs are no problem. As long as you, keep the stabilizers padded, cool down the metal roof, keep misting and keep it wet, and then rinse thoroughly after. Great questions. If you're just joining us, I'm answering questions for pressure washing and soft washing. If you have a question, drop it in the comments below. I'm more than happy to help out with that. We got Facebook going, YouTube going, and TikTok going. TikTok is the most active. What's going on, YouTube? Need some more comments over there. Man, have I been streaming for 30 minutes already? I have been yammering. There's no way. Yeah, 30 minutes. And if you like this content, make sure you're dropping a like on this video. You're hitting that subscribe button so you get notified when I go live again. I don't really have a great schedule, so I just kind of go live impromptu. I've got this little tripod here that just, hold on, clean off the YouTube, oh, made it worse. That I use to just go live on all these platforms, and yeah, just kind of do it impromptu here. When you walk on asphalt roof after cleaning, any specific types of shoes worn, or just be very careful? I'm imagining you meant shoes. So I use Hucks. Let me grab that. So the reason I use Hucks, hold on, I'm gonna grab it for you guys. Come on. All right, I'm gonna just grab this link. Boom. Uh-oh. And all right. So I just dropped them in the comments there. It's a Amazon link. I use Huck boots, and the reason why I use Huck boots is because they're fishing boots, and those fishing boots have these this texture to them that really grips the roof when it's wet. So after I've rinsed it and it's wet, the roof is okay. Well, I don't know how it is in most of the country, but here in Washington we have a lot. Our roofs get slimy and mossy, and that's when the roof is the worst. Once the roof has been treated like soft wash, it becomes much easier to walk on. What's going on, Jonathan? Sorry, I got to look at YouTube over here. Just getting started in the business. Nice stuff. Hey, I want to check out where everybody's business is. So drop, if you've got a business already, drop it. Or you can share Mississippi. Best way to clean an RV. Hot water, deionized water. Okay, if it's mossy, you're gonna have to downstream it a little bit. Those seals, they will break, so be very careful. Low pressure. If you are doing RV, that's just a little dirty because it's just been out on the road and stuff, and it hasn't been sitting. You want to ideally deionized water. So basically filtered water, and a hot water machine is the absolute best for that. If you don't have that, you can pick up just some soap. I saw a tag team. I know the guys that do the Costco truck cleanings. I saw some guys do Costco truck cleanings. Man, one guy had a pressure washer. He was just downstreaming, you know, his cleaning agents, just degreasers, you know, cleaning stuff. Rinsed it all, or coated it. Then he would go behind with a soft bristle brush, just scrub the entire thing. The other guy would come behind and rinse. So it was kind of like a leapfrogging type thing. And they had it in a nice dance. RVs, you can make some good money cleaning RVs. If you go to an RV camp or you go to like an RV dealership, they need them cleaned regularly. That can be some good money. You can get paid anywhere between $20 to $50 an RV, and you could just be moving through those things. Hundreds of RVs cleaned in a single day. Ice dam streaming in blue winter up here. In the winter up here. Ice dam steaming in the blue winter up here. Oh, you're in Minnesota. Yeah, no way. Couldn't do it. Couldn't be me. All I have is a plan so far, no equipment. Okay. If you don't have any equipment, what's going on? Cookies Gelato. What's Cookies Gelato? Bro, I'd love to work with you. Yo, give me a shout. Give me a shout. Shoot me on a messenger. Shoot me on Messenger. Or any of these channels. I check the messages in these channels. But if you don't have any equipment, so if I had to start it all over again, I would steaming. Ice dam steaming in the winter. Oh, I see. If I had to start all over again, I would. So, okay, I started with a 2.3 gallon a minute system. Then I went with a 3 gallon a minute system. And the reason I went with my 3 gallon a minute system is because I started in a minivan, and I didn't like a belt driven 4 gallon a minute system is taxing on that back to get it in and out of your vehicle. So the first thing I would do is probably try to get a truck. That would be van setups. I had a van setup. I don't recommend them just because there's just limited access. Yes, it does offer security. I had a van and it had my logos all across it, and like nobody looked at it. You know, it was really weird. Nobody looked at it. The moment I moved to a truck and the equipment was exposed, everybody looks at my truck. So it's one of those things where people just kind of ignore the van but look at the truck. I would say go with the truck setup. I mean, you can go with the trailer setup if you can't commit to the an entire vehicle, but yeah, go with the truck setup. I would go 4 gallon a minute with the truck setup. I would get 2 Cox reel hose, or I would get 3 Cox reel hoses, hose reels. You know, they're about $300 a piece. You're gonna spend about $1,000 on that, and plus the dual stacking. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but I would get it so that I moved as least amount of equipment as possible, because that takes that tear down and build up it takes a long time. It takes a long time. Best way to get rid of oil stains: hot water. Dawn Platinum is what I don't guarantee oil stains. I don't guarantee oil stains. So hot water is the best thing. Oil penetrates too far down. You need something to lift it up. So really hot water. I mean, the process is you clean it first, you pressure wash it first, you hit it with Dawn Platinum, take an aggressive stiff bristle brush, scrub it. Then let it dwell for 15 minutes, come back, rinse it off, check it, rinse, basically repeat that process until it comes as clean as possible. But with that, hot water is really going to lift that oil out. Or you're talking about muriatic acid across the concrete. which you got to know what you're doing because you're taking a layer off of the concrete. Great questions, great questions. But yeah, I would start with a 4 gallon. Where you know, if I was starting again, it would definitely be to start that 2 gallon kind of was a waste of time. That 3 gallon was kind of a waste of time. That 4 gallon was right in the ballpark of where I was like, okay, I'm doing some damage out here. If I go with a belt drive 4 gallon, will I need a buffer tank? No. 4 gallon, almost every house pulls 4 gallons, no problem. You're gonna get anywhere between 5 and 8 gallons on a house, depending on if it's on a well water or if it's, how close it is to the pump, all those different factors. But you're gonna get somewhere in that ballpark. So 4 gallon, you don't need to. I like to have a buffer tank. Even when I have my 4 gallon, I like my buffer tank because if I just showed up and I was doing a small patio, I didn't have to hook them to water. Or if I just showed up and I wanted to do a demo for a customer, I didn't have to hook into water. So I like having a buffer tank. I like having a full water buffer tank almost every time. I carry about 55 to 65 gallons of water. Downstream driveways. Downstreaming a driveway does almost nothing. I use it as a pre-treatment and post-treatment. In the pre-treatment, it starts to lift the dirt and starts to kill the organics and helps me prevent tiger striping. I pressure wash, then I rinse, and then I post-treat. Post-treating helps the soft washing downstream gets inside of the concrete into those little pore areas, and it keeps killing the organics, and it brightens the concrete up a little bit. So I will post-treat the concrete. Great questions here, guys. Great questions. Best budget hose reel. So people talk trash about the general pumps. I rock with the general pump, the general pump hose reel for quite some time. I'll throw it up on general pump hose reel. So I use these for quite some time. They worked out great for me. $300. The big thing, okay, there's 2 things you got to know with these hose reels. One, the center of them, I don't believe is, okay, it does have a stainless. Okay, yeah, it has a stainless inside. So I'm gonna drop this Amazon link to the general pump. $300. It works. The Cox reel I like a little bit more because it swivels better. So Cox reel, I have gone with these 1/2 inch. Yeah, this one has been, they're really, Cox reels are really smooth. So I really like these. And then now I'm on Titan electric hose reels, and they're like $800 a piece, but they are worth it, especially when you have to pull out hose, pull back in hose. It's been really nice doing that. I'm gonna jump over to YouTube. Could you speak on the difference between 6 PM and PSI? Or I think you meant GPM, gallons per minute, and PSI. Yeah, gallons per minute is the amount of gallons of water per minute. The PSI is pressure per square inch. So think of it like this. If I have a gallon of water and I just turn it upside down like it has an open top, all that water came out almost instantly, right? It's not high pressure. You can put it over your hand and it'll just get your hand wet, right? You may feel a little bit of pressure. Now, if I were to push that water through a tiny hole, that depending on how hard I'm pushing, you can basically create a laser, right? This is where you get water jetting from. And it's not a lot of water, it's just high pressured water. So pressure doesn't clean, gallons per minute cleans. The reason why you see PSI advertised so much is because PSI is an easier number for the manufacturers of these machines to make. You just force more through a tinier hole. It's harder to create gallons per minute. So that number is usually suppressed when you're talking about residential products. When you get into commercial products, commercial grade pressure washers, they're going to lean more toward the gallons per minute. It only takes about 1,500 to 2,000 PSI to clean concrete. You don't need 4,000 PSI, you don't need 5,000, 6,000 PSI. Not unless you're cleaning like barnacles off of boats or something crazy like that. You don't need it. You only need about 2,000 PSI. So when you're talking about commercial cleaning or like commercial grade cleaning products, you always want to go with the gallons per minute over the PSI. So I hope that answers your question. So let's jump back over here to TikTok. Downstream driveways. So cold water machine wouldn't do much. I use cold water machines. I want to get a hot water machine. It's $8,000. There are this many jobs that I need a hot water machine, and there's this much that I don't. So I have found that it's just more economical for me to turn down jobs that I can need a hot water machine for than it is for me to go out and buy one. Have you ever had spigot issues? Do you need a 4-way key for most commercial buildings? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so one time, so yes, spigot issues is definitely a thing. You want to be careful with spigots because a lot of people will just walk up to a spigot, hook the hose up, and turn it on like it's their house. Some of these houses are really old, especially on the East Coast, and those spigots haven't been changed. And it's recessed into these brick and vinyl buildings. So if you twist too hard, you can snap those things. You can snap the handle off. You can snap the spigot inside. There's a lot that you can do. I had that happen one time. I snapped. Commercial buildings use what's called wall hydrants, and I snapped one of the inner pieces of it, and it wasn't my fault. It was already pre-corroded, but I didn't really know that, so we had to turn the valve. We had to turn it off behind it where the valve was. Then I had to order the piece in. I replaced it for them. It was pretty easy to replace. They make those things pretty serviceable it was a commercial property. And then what happened? And then I was able to clean no problem. But yeah, you want to have a 4-way key. The 4-way key is really cheap, $15-20 at Home Depot. I got 3 of them, and I keep it with me. I keep one in every truck, and I keep a spare because, you definitely want to have those 4-way keys. Mixed ratio for soap and bleach in pre-treatment and post-treatment. My pre-treatment for my concrete, I think Nick and T-Rod asked kind of a similar question. I downstream it, so I'm getting anywhere between a 1% and 2% mixture. That's what I am getting for mine. It's somewhere in the 1-2%. I try not to concern myself with the exact number. I get people sometimes that are like, oh, I want to get a pool testing equipment or some kind of testing equipment to check and see what levels of SH I'm at. The thing is, you'll never know unless you test it every single time. The reason for it is because, first of all, you see guys will have a proportioner, and this is mine too, where the water in the SH tank or in the SH lines are both 1/2 inch or both 3/4 inch. Water has sodium hypochlorite has a higher specific gravity, which means per gallon it's a little heavier. It's I think 20% heavier. Water is 8 pounds for every gallon, and SH is 9.6 pounds for every gallon. So the draw rate on those things are going to be 2 different draw rates. SH corrodes the lines. No matter how much the lines are, SH corrodes the lines, and water calcifies the lines. So you're going to have two different surface tensions on the hose, or surface tensions on the innards of the hose. If the hoses are cut to different lengths, you're going to have different suction rates there. If you have the hoses twist in different ways, you're going to have one fighting gravity at one point and one not. If you have, there's like 1,000 factors that affect the final blend ratio of what your chemical is going to be. I say keep the guesstimation, right? Build the equipment, or have the equipment built for you by pros, and just know that it's not. None of this is an exact science. It's all guesstimation. It's all approximation, and just live in that space, and you're going to be doing just fine. You know, be in tune with your equipment, I would say, is more important than knowing the exact ratio that you're putting on the house. There's an approximation you're shooting for. There's ways to get that approximation, but you know, you're looking to be in the ballpark rather than like be able to hit the exact percentage every single time. I don't have a proportioner. I just use a foam cannon for pre-treatment protein and just starting. Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely do that. You know, you're gonna probably mix. Well, I mean, yeah, even with a foam cannon, like there's no way to know exactly what you're putting on there. I mean, you can. It would just be really tough, you know. Yeah. How many gallons of SH do you use on an average job? Great question, Bubba. It depends. It really, like, that's a hard question to say. When I'm doing a house siding soft wash, I'll use between 4 and 7 gallons. When I'm doing a roof, I'll use between 10 to 20 gallons. If I use an X-Jet, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. No, it's never a 1-to-1 ratio with an X-Jet. I think at most you can get a 1.6. If you Google search X-Jet chart, it'll tell you what the ratios are based on the gallons per minute and the fittings that you use. But yeah, I don't believe they have a 1-to-1 ratio. It's at least, I think, a 1.6. I may be wrong on that though. Sorry. Jonathan, what do I need to know about starting a pressure washing business? That's a loaded question, man. That's a loaded question. What do you need to know about starting a pressure washing business? There's so much. I would say you will become a better cleaner automatically. You will not become a better salesperson automatically, or a better marketer automatically. Focus on sales and marketing, get on the job, and then take your time. And you will slowly become a better cleaner. But without practice and without investment, you will not become a better sales and marketer. You will find it hard to get jobs if you do not practice sales. I hope that answered your question. Thanks, Cookies. I appreciate you. Oh, we got Thor in here. What's going on? All right, let's go back to how to sell jobs, get the back end of the business, how to run and maintain equipment, etc. Oh man, you're asking a lot here. How to sell jobs. that's you have to do these one at a time. The back end of the business, how to run and maintain equipment. I maintain my equipment probably about once a month. I go through all my stuff and just check everything. And oh, you're saying that's the question for that? Yeah. How to sell jobs, the back end of the business. Yeah, and how to run and maintain equipment. Yeah. That's really it. But selling jobs is, you gotta learn how to sell jobs. It's just really sad, man. You just see so many people get into any industry. It's not just this industry. You can take sales and go to any business and make money. I can go out tomorrow and start selling, I don't know, coffee cups, right? It doesn't matter. Sales is not about what you're selling. It's about figuring out a solution and then connecting your customer with the solution, or figuring out a problem, understanding your customer's problem and connecting your customer with the solution. That's sales. That's what sales is. What are some effective strategies on improving sales skills in the pressure washing business? Man, you're asking some fire questions out here. So one, I'm gonna self-plug here. I do a sales training. I help people get sales and I help people close deals. I've helped dozens of guys get sales. It's very uncomfortable, right? Sales is very uncomfortable, and you need to fall in love with being uncomfortable. But my tactics focus on quick conversions to get you to close deals right away, and then we can work on long-term solutions. But for me, sitting down, going through your market, going through your process of sales, understanding your business, I help you put together a script that's gonna bring dollars and help you close deals right away. Just the other day, I had a customer reschedule a big job, and I just went out, took it old school, just door to door, knocked on doors, and kept working till I closed deals. If you don't want to go through me, there's tons of other places. Start with I like Simon. He's not a sales guy, but he's a business guy. Will help get your mind right. Simon Sinek, Start With Why. Really love that book. I don't have my books here. Grant Cardone. He's got some really great books on sales. Really well. Here, I've got my Audible list here. I'm always listening to books on Audible, and even as a 20-year salesperson, I have to keep myself sharp. Yeah, Coke is okay. Oh, hold on. One second. Let me see something here. Clean Pro Service, how can I help you? We are. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm actually doing a Facebook. Well, I'm doing a live right now. I just took this call on the live. I mean, you're not on speakerphone or anything, but yeah. So you're interested in the Power Clean Academy? Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's simply powercleanacademy.com. You go on there and you choose one of the courses, you sign up for that, and then I'm gonna follow up with you to make sure, let you go through it and see if you have any questions on it, concerns on it, and I'll help you walk through and get you taken care of, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna actually text you from a different number because I'm using this one as I'm restructuring things. But yeah, I'm gonna text you from a different number, and yeah, we'll stay in contact. Where are you based out of? Oh, you're right here. Okay, very cool. Yeah, you got some competition down in Olympia. There's some good guys down there. Competition is fun. I love it. I love it. Love the energy on that. Yeah. No. Oh, I'm John. Sounds good, boss. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. Bye. I was hoping to close another deal for you guys on camera, but it was actually somebody interested in Power Clean Academy. So yeah, we've put together Power Clean Academy, where you can go to powercleanacademy.com and get. Okay, so I haven't been like plugging it too much here, and there's a reason, because I'm actually redoing it. Power Clean Academy.com. I'm actually redoing it a little bit, and I'm building it in another platform. That there's a long list of reasons why I'm rebuilding it, but if you really want to know how to get set up, there's 3 courses up there right now. There's the A to Z Startup Guide, and the A to Z Startup Guide is completely free. It tells you exactly how to get startup. It goes through the company focus roadmap, funding and budgeting, naming consideration, the difference between a sole proprietorship, LLC, corporation, operating agreements, state business licenses, employment. It walks you through setting up a business. And yes, it's focused on pressure washing, but honestly, this walks you through pretty much any business. But yes, it's pressure washing and soft washing focused. So that course is completely free. You can go. It's mainly text based. But yeah, it's up there for you for free. If you wanted to do the pressure, I have the pressure washing course up there, and I have the soft washing course. It will walk you through all the terminology on the equipment. It walks you through your initial setup, the trucks versus trailers versus vans. It walks you through recommended first equipment and scaling it, safety things, how to do estimates, pro tips as far as like we talk about spigots, that's all in there. Wand techniques, like how to hold the wand, things like that. Water management, drainage, residential versus commercial concrete, surface cleaners, stripes on concrete. I mean, it walks you through every type of surface that you can clean. So basically, the whole goal of this was I built a site that I would have loved to have access to when I first started. So it's everything. It's the culmination of all my knowledge and everything that I've learned over the last few years, built right into one site. So yeah, somebody just called me about it, and I haven't been promoting it too much. I don't know where he saw it. I've mentioned it here, and I just dropped a TikTok about it. So maybe he saw it on TikTok, or I didn't drop it about it. I just plugged it into TikTok. But I haven't been wanting to promote it too much. Oh, it comes with royalty-free before and after photos, a financial worksheet on how to set up your business, and how much. It comes with a lot. It comes with an absolute lot. It's pretty wild. My daughter's name is Bella. I don't know what's going on over there. Let's see. Let me go back in the comments here. Hold on. Actually, I need to go over here in the comments because there's a lot. There's a lot of comments to sift through. Okay. So if you want to jump on there, it's powercleanacademy.com. I'm going to be building, so I haven't wanted to plug it super hard until I switch platforms, but apparently I guess the cat's getting out of the bag about it. I mean, we've already done some sales on it, and it's already, it's already been, yeah, people have used it. We had a gentleman who bought it. He has like 40 trucks, or no, sorry, 40 employees and like 12 trucks, something like that. And he's using it as like a training course for his people. So, it's doing good, and I'm getting a lot of good responses for it. But I have a different vision for it. I want to include more video. So I'm a big visual learner. Also, I'm working on recording everything audibly, because I want guys to be able to like listen to it while they're working. So kind of like a podcast style. So there's a lot I'm working with it to add more value to it constantly. But we'll do this. I got some of you guys asking for cost here. The pressure washing, right now they're $299 for the pressure washing course, and $299 for the soft wash course. But I'll do this. If you guys are interested in it, where discounts, generate, nope. Hold on. Products. Okay. So if you guys want, if you put in the coupon code LIVE, I'll do a buy one, get one free on that. And then when I switch it over to the other platform, I'll give you guys access to that platform. Anybody who buys access into this platform, I'm going to give them access into that platform absolutely free. The new one. So I don't like leaving people behind or anything on that. So if you use the discount code LIVE, LIVE, there's a buy one, get one free on pressure washing and soft wash training right now. And then of course the A to Z marketing is completely free always. I want to push more people to that, and help people get set up with their stuff right away, or the right way. Excuse me. All right, so we'll stop that there. All right, let's get back to the business at hand. But yeah, if you're interested in Power Clean, I'll put it Clean Academy. I'll put it in the notes here for each of these, or the comments. I said the notes. Okay. Let's get back to these comments. What's the best way to market for you? Door-to-door, door knocking, or social media platforms? Okay, all of it. All of it. You want to do all of it. You don't want to not do some. You got to think, when you first start a business, you got to push. You got to push. It's so when you wake up in the morning and you don't have any jobs, get out there and knock on some doors. Don't say I'm going to get up and work on social media or any. do that after dinner, right? After you spend some time with the kids and after dinner. Don't do it during the times when people answer the doors, okay? Door to door. Then, I think I talked about this last time, but first you want to get your branding set up completely. So your branding is going to be your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikToks, a good logo, all the things that don't cost anything. Maybe some good business or definitely some good business cards, some door hangers, very cheap things. Okay, you want to set all those things up as cheap as possible. Once you have those things set up, then you want to set up sorry, I'm kind of losing my brain here. Once you have all the basics set up, then you want to get out there and do door knocking, calling different realtors, calling different property managers, just building awareness. After you've done door knocking, your phone should be ringing at this point, right? If you're in those Facebook groups and you're talking to the admins and you're figuring out the best way to navigate those things don't cost you anything, right? Those things are very, very free. And door knocking is just your time. Once you have rolling income from that, then you can put your money into Facebook ads, Google ads, things like that. The last thing that I would do is lead generation sites, Home Advisor, Angie's List, things like that. I don't like those platforms. That's later after you have somebody dedicated to answer the phones, that can respond quickly, that can be on top of getting credits back. That's what all of that is for. But don't do that anytime. Don't do that anytime soon. Do the free stuff first. Build a good brand first, and then grow from there. All right, let me get into it. Yeah, I tried. I thought it was a call. What's going on, John? Pressure. That's what he said. Pretty sure. How much is it though? Did I talk about that? I have a really great network with my current job. I'm worried about getting swamped when I start. That's a good problem to have. Meter it out then, okay? Do it 1 day a week, 2 days a week. Get your feet wet. If you've got a good job, don't quit. Put all of your eggs in one basket, and then you're gambling, right? Take your time, pick up 1 day a week where you're utilizing your network and then doing those jobs, get the experience, stockpile that cash, right? So that you can hit the ground with the right equipment, the right marketing. Take a whole season to do that. There's no rush, right? Take 1 whole season. This year, do that. Then next year, do it for 2 days. Then the following year, maybe look to quit at that point, right? There's no rush to quit the job, especially if it's paying all the bills. Meter one down while you're ramping up the other. All right. Which is easier to go for commercial or residential starting out? I think residential. Commercial is a waiting game. Commercial is you're putting a lot of energy into it, and it takes a lot of time to get back to you. So let's say you want to do local restaurants. You've got to first find the GM, right? You got to hope that you come across a GM. Then they have to review their budgets, and they have to make sure that it fits within their budget. And there's a big circle to come back around to get a yes, and they sometimes want like net 30 terms and a whole bunch of other things. Residential is really good, in my opinion, because decision maker decision, money. It happens really, really fast. It can happen same day. Whereas commercial, it typically can't happen same day. So when you're first starting out, I would cut my teeth on residential and I would work up and I would put the feelers out for commercial, especially because a lot of them need net terms. But yeah, I would definitely be putting the feelers out for commercial and then be focused on residential. That would be me. All right. How do you balance cost brand building in your marketing plan? Man, Jonathan is out here asking the craziest best questions. How do you balance cost brand building in your marketing plan? That's a good question. One thing, okay. In the beginning, okay, so marketing is not, I spend $1, I get $1, or I spend $1, I get 2. That's not what marketing is. Marketing is raising your brand's consideration when it comes time to make a purchasing decision. So when you advertise on most channels outside of Facebook and outside of Google, because Google is really they look for you and they react with you. But when you start getting into a little bit into Facebook and you start getting to all these other channels, you're really trying to build awareness when it comes time to convert, unless you're doing hard sales like door to door. So when you're beginning, you want low marketing costs, high effort, and as you get bigger, those are going to swap. Your marketing costs are going to go up, but your effort in those marketing costs will go down. So, for example, when I first started, I'm spending a couple $100s on door hangers, and I'm just hitting doors. It cost me, a couple $100, but it cost me a lot of time. Now I spend $5,000 in marketing per month, but I just wait for my phone to ring, right? So I spend less time actually doing the marketing and more time reaping the benefits of the marketing or working the jobs, but I spend more in the dollars as opposed to before, which was opposite. So great question. I say start low on marketing, right? There's a lot of guys out there that want to sell you SEO packages. They want to sell you ad packages. I'm one of them. I have a marketing company, and that's something that we do. Don't buy from us. Don't buy from anybody, right? Not until your business is ready. Jumping into those things prematurely will, one, put a sour taste in your mouth for those type of things. And that's not, those things work, but it works when your business is ready for it. All right, Nick, I appreciate you for hanging out, man. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys are dropping a comment or a like on these videos so that it gets more engagement, more love on the platforms, and yeah. Oh, I did something weird over here. When did you start paying for marketing instead of doing it cheaply? When it cost me too much. Okay, so I'll give you another like gem that I came to in previous business. As a business owner, your goal is to fire yourself. So I talked before about all the hats you wear. You wear the marketing hat, then you wear the customer service hat, then you wear the sales hat, then you wear the pressure washing hat, then you wear the retention hat, then you wear the accounting hat, then you wear, you wear all these different hats. So your goal is to fire yourself. Fire yourself from each one of these hats. Now, you have to prioritize which hat you're going to fire yourself from. The way you do that is you look at your skill sets, right? And you say, okay, I'm getting C-level results, and I can hire an A person to get me better results, right? So if you're not good at marketing, hire that out. If you're not good at sales, hire that out. If you're not good at the pressure washing, hire that out. If you're not good, whichever you're least good at, hire that out. Find and make sure you hire someone better than you, so that you can. Yeah. So you're firing yourself because you've hired somebody better, right? So you're constantly looking to fire yourself. So when you start paying for marketing instead of doing it cheaply, is when you cost too much to do that. So when I look at my cost for me to go door knocking, like what I want to pay myself, I'm too expensive to go door knocking most days. But the other day, it was either sit here and twiddle my thumbs, or get out there and make money. My mom always said, you're either spending money or you're making money. So I can either spend money, have my employees sitting here looking me in the face, I can spend money, or I can go out there and make some money. And so I decided, you know what, let me get out there and do that. And make that money. What was the first job you gave to someone else in your business and why? Okay. I am one of my problems personally is that I'm a hard person to fire, even for myself. I do everything pretty well. I clean really well. I get jobs done fast and efficiently. I do all the marketing. I have the other marketing company. I do the sales really well. So it's really hard for me to fire myself from any one of those positions. I would say the first one that I attempted the first one I let go was the pressure washing, because I'm more valuable in the sales and marketing side of things. Now, I've hired employees to do that. In doing that, I've had to kind of come to some realizations in myself that when I'm not out there involved in my business, and being kinetic with my business, I get lazy. I sit at the computer, I'll watch a YouTube video instead of working. I will do something instead of being proactive in my business. That is my personal issue, my personal fault. So I've had to kind of, I perform the best when I am doing a little bit of everything and I am being split. So I have not fired myself from the pressure washing yet again, because I need to be there. The next step that I'm looking to fire myself from is actually the sales position. I'm good at sales, but I'm actually really good at training people in sales. And I feel like I can replicate myself across, salespeople. So I'm hiring salespeople right now, and I'm going to be bringing them in here shortly, and I'm going to teach them to go out there and get money on the company's behalf. I'm going to pay them really well, and I'm going to fire myself from that. The marketing side is sorted, it's taken care of. It's just constantly needs to be upgraded and managed. Um, and then it's the pressure washing side, and then so using the tool that I have now, Power Clean Academy, I'm going to be bringing on guys here. After the sales. Okay, so this is a very important lesson. Let your sales. Okay. You want to be sold out than overstocked. So I've had a lot of really great mentors in the past, and I had a guy that was a large distributor. He sold products, and he sold all over the world, and I mean he was moving millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I would be so frustrated with him because he was always out of stock of stuff, like essential stuff, but he would take payment. And I'm like, why do you take payment if you don't got the stuff? And he's like, I'll get the stuff. And I always hated it. But what I learned from him, and yes, customers would be sometimes frustrated, but his distribution company did really well as opposed to the companies that always had stuff in stock. So what I learned from him and other examples was that it's better to have too many sales than too much product. If too much product in our scenario is your time or employees' time sitting around. Too many sales is your lead time 5, 6, 7 weeks out. I'd rather tell a customer, it's better to tell a customer, sorry, we're 8 weeks out right now, than to tell your employee, hey, we don't have any work tomorrow. Or to tell your wife, or to tell your husband, there's no work tomorrow. Right? So you have to decide in business, you have to decide which problems you want. You can't get away from problems. You can't. Your goal should not be to eliminate problems. Your goal should be to exchange problems. You exchange problems for ones that you can tolerate, that your personality and that your mind can tolerate. If you can do that, and you can exchange problems for the concoction of problems that your brain is fine dealing with, then that's what your goal is. How do you effectively manage your time while handling multiple roles in your business? I don't. I'm a crazy person. I'm working 24/7. I've just created a calendar with like all my time broken down into 30-minute blocks, and I'm trying to stick with that calendar. But this is who I am. So I think with that, you have to figure out a system that works for you. There's a lot of really great resources out there, but for me, I thrive in chaos. I mean, I literally have 1, 2, 3 cameras up right now doing an impromptu live that I'm just shooting off the cuff. This is what I like. This is what I live for. So, yeah, really great question, Jonathan. Jonathan's over there grabbing the heat. All right, my current boss is willing to buy my startup equipment for me due to the way I work for him. That's really cool. I'm gonna say this with any kind of people investing into your company. No, let's take one step back. Never take on a partner in this business or any business that you're starting. Never take on a partner. I have had businesses where I've had partners. I've had businesses where I've had no partners. And I've seen it 1,000 times. Don't take on a business partner. Take on investors minimally. No, not a sole proprietorship. That's a classification of business. What I mean is, don't take on a partner. You want to. So okay, I was in a business one time where there was 4 partners, including myself. So it was 4 total. I had 3 other partners. We're all equal. The problem with that is that without an operating agreement, in an agreed upon operating agreement, there's 4 chiefs. Every business needs one boss, one CEO, one voice that's above them all. And everybody has to surrender their ego to that one person. Now, later, I learned, and again, I saw hundreds of examples, not just my own, where partnerships dissolved quickly, a year, 2 years max. They dissolve super quickly because we're different, right? We think about it like girlfriends. How many wives have you had? You know, like long-term commitments. That's what a business partnership is. How many husbands have you had? A long-term commitment takes a lot of time, energy, and patience. So it's almost impossible to do unless the other parties are willing to surrender their egos. With that, I've had situations where I've entered into business with people, and I've said, "No, you're the 100% owner. I'll just take a piece later, or I'll just take a dividend later, or I'll just or just pay me out as a contractor, or something, right? Or maybe I'm 50-50 partner, but you be the boss. Like, your final word is the word. Or you have to be humble. Investors are going to be the same thing. Investors want their money back. Unless you are good at getting people their money back, plus, don't take on an investor. Don't think that you could be good at it. Be good at it. Like, know that you are good at it before you take on an investor. An initial investor, if you decide to take on an initial investor, set the expectation that they're never going to see their money back, right? It's not a loan, it's a gift, right? That way, if you fail, you don't damage the relationship. Or they don't give you something that they don't have, because a lot of people want to help, but they don't necessarily have it, and they come back to you 6 months later, hey, you know that $3,000 I helped you get set up with, you know, wondering when that's going to come back around. So, yeah. How do you tips for entrepreneurs trying to find a unique work style? Man, Jonathan's asking questions over there that I gotta really think on. I would say read. You'll find people and messages that you resonate with. You know, not everybody resonates with Gary Vaynerchuk. Not everybody resonates with Grant Cardone or Tony Robbins or any of those guys. I'll tell you some like hidden gem ones that I resonated with, and it was really just like small messages in those. First of all, Simon Sinek, really love that guy. He has a really good way of framing how businesses should communicate. Jocko Willink, he was the Navy SEAL guy. A lot of really good stuff in there. I hate this one, but it's Robert Greene. That guy's a writer, man. He's got some stuff in there that's crazy. All titles. I was like, I know I have more than this. Come on. What was her name? I read Pete Carroll's book, The Seahawks Coach. This is good. I've got 50 some titles here. Malcolm Gladwell with The Outliers. That's good. Mel Robbins, The 5-Second Rule. She's good. Patty McCord. Man, Patty McCord shook me up. Patty McCord is a good one. Jordan Peterson. Then I read a lot of biographies too, like Kevin Hart's biography. Really like these biographies because I get to see. So like Kevin Hart. Okay, I remember I read Kevin Hart's book when I was just starting this, and I was coming from a business that was doing millions of dollars a year, and it got closed down because of regulation changes. But when I got into this business, you know, I was already kind of pampered because I had you know, teams of people working for me, and I kind of needed to get back to the grindstone, and it was like really hard for me to get myself back to, you know, the grind like that. David Goggins, yeah. So Kevin Hart's book helped me. So he would go do a show. He would go up to New York. He would go do a show, get paid like next to nothing, and then he would run to the other side off the stage when the show was done, go by the door, and then collect email addresses and phone numbers. You know, just write them down, email address, phone numbers. Then when he was back in town, if he knew he had a show in town, in that city, he would email and call these people. There are people out there that got a phone call from Kevin Hart at some point asking them to come to his show, right? That's wild. I was like, okay, I see how I need to grind out here. I need to get back into that mindset and into that rhythm of things. So that's what got me back into door knocking. So Kevin Hart book was really great for that. Read Will Smith's book, the Obama's books, like any kind of book. I really try to enjoy reading. What has influenced your personal and professional growth the most? Jonathan, what are you doing over there, man? You got ChatGPT open with like the best questions? What is happening over there? What's going on? Pressure washing by Sterling. You're a washing addict? That's awesome. What has influenced your personal and professional growth the most? People. Hands down, people. I've had some crazy mentors, especially sales mentors. I get in front of good people. I don't know what it is. I have a knack for getting in front of good people, and they drop these gems on me, and I'm just like, ooh, let me go ahead and hold that. Like, and it really just sticks with me. So, just exposing yourself. That sounds bad. Putting yourself in front of talented, good people. I like to say that, like, almost nothing I say is original. Everything is an amalgamation of the greatest people that I know, you know, and that I've met. Great salespeople that I have had the pleasure of working with, and great mentors that I've had. Just people I've passed by, old people that messed up their life and can drop a few words of wisdom. You know, like, I listen to everybody. So I would say in my life, yeah, it's really important in my professional and personal growth that people are the most important thing. How much you know on Sammy's? How much I'm Sammy's? I think he's fixing that. Sorry. Looking at YouTube over there. All right, let's get back to Sunset. Back in here. All right. Does a pressure washing business have to have pressure washing in the logo if you do more? Siamese. How much you know Siamese? I know a little bit about Siamese. Drop your question. I'll see if I can answer. John, learn, get inspired, and connect with support peers on your entrepreneurial path. John, learn, get inspired, and connect with supportive peers on your entrepreneurial path. Yeah, 100%. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. Okay. So, pressure washing in the logo. Okay. Um, and I'm assuming you mean the name and not the logo, because the logo can be kind of whatever you want it to be. Like my logo's like an icon, and that's I built it that way because I wanted it to be iconic. I wanted it to be an icon rather than the same logo that we see all the time. There's a couple good logos out there, but there's not really many in this space. Pressure washing in the name has been challenging because my business started with pressure washing. I added siding soft washing, I added gutters, I added windows, I added roofs, I added solar panels, and now I'm Clean Pro Services. It used to be Clean Pressure Wash. And the people still, it says Clean Pro Service, and I'll run a Facebook ad and people say, you can't pressure wash your roof. Even though the first line of the ad says, we don't pressure wash roofs. But my name, Power Clean, is tough. It's tough in marketing, and I wish I would have known the path a little bit more. I didn't know anything about the pressure washing industry when I first started. I didn't know roof cleaning. I didn't know any of the soft washing. I didn't know any of those things. So I wish I would have understood the path a little bit more. But yeah, exterior cleaning plus, that sounds great. So I would really look and see if that's exterior cleaning plus. I'm not talking exterior. Yeah, that's a solid name. Exterior Cleaning Plus. Sons, I would go and grab that domain right away. Like now. Somebody's going to take that. Do machines need to be the same PSI and GPM? Dad, my logo has a man washing. So it's self-explanatory without saying the words. Yeah. Okay, so do this, do the machines need to be the same PSI and GPM? I would think, so I don't know. I would think no. I would think it would be best for them to, because then you would have different, so at some point it does need to Y into each other. Actually, yes. I'm gonna say they need to be this, yeah. I would say you would want them to be the same because you might cause a situation where there's back pressure on one of the machines, and if the internal back, if let's say one's 5,000 PSI and one's 2,000 PSI, you could cause back pressure on the 2,000 PSI or the 4 gallon a minute versus the 8, and that could cause damage to the 8 gallon a minute, to the smaller unit. So I don't know. But I would say yes, you would want them as close as possible. They do have check valves, but the check valves are rated for. So this is the thing: when you have equipment, especially from a manufacturer, they're not going to put a 5,000 psi check valve inside of a 2,000 psi machine. They're going to save the money and go with the cheaper check valve. So they're going to get just above what's needed. So I wouldn't risk that. I can see. I would probably talk. I don't know the answer, and I would probably talk to somebody that specializes in those pumps. But I would probably do it. No check valves on the kit. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Possibly, yeah, that would work. Check valves on the kit. I mean, you're talking about a couple thousand PSI check valves though, or you'd probably want to overkill it. Grab some 6,000. Let's see, a 6,000 PSI check valve. What does that work? Okay, they're not too crazy. You got a 4,000. Oh, that's a 4 gallon a minute. So 3/8 MPT. 6,500 check valve, 10 gallons a minute. Yeah, that could work. They're about $36. So yeah, then I would say possibly. I mean, the fluid dynamics will probably cause some pressure, some back pressure on the check valve, because you got to think. One lane is moving this way and one's trickling in. I mean, you're basically siphoning one, almost siphoning one. But it probably won't combine as a, like, if you get an 8 and a 4, it probably won't combine to a 12. It'll probably combine to like a 10 to 11. But yeah, if you put check valves in there, that should protect the pumps. I couldn't see a reason why it wouldn't. So yeah, John, have you utilized AI chat tools to boost your entrepreneurial journey? Yeah, 100%. We use ChatGPT for a lot of our marketing stuff. To yeah, tons of it. I use ChatGPT as kind of like a what is that thing called? Like a personal assistant that I can just kind of bounce ideas off of. It works out really great. Olympia, no. I'm in Spanaway, Washington. Gosh, I forgot where I was for a second. I'm in Spanaway, Washington. Yeah, I work in Olympia constantly. I do a lot of work in Olympia. We do Olympia, Young, Lacey, all of those areas in Thurston, Pierce County, some King County. I try to stay out of King County. I don't really like King. Has AI assisted your marketing efforts? In writing copy, it helps write copy, or it helps me give me ideas to write copy. I get mine. Okay, so Cascade Columbia is going to be a good resource, but I don't know if they delivered all the way down to Lacey. I would call Cascade Columbia and see where. But so, are you delivering, or do you need to? Okay, are you having it delivered, or are you needing to pick it up? And if you're getting it delivered, can you store a 50? Where is it being delivered? A house or a business? Okay, someone to fill up your tank. I don't know anybody in Lacey or in Thurston County that does that. I know some people way up north, and I think there's a guy here in Spanaway, but nothing in Lacey. Yeah, AI is assisted in, yeah, definitely giving me ideas. Just, it's been, like, again, a personal assistant. Whew, I'm starting to get delirious after all this talking. Jeez. Oh man, you know, I try. I don't know when the next live is going to be. I do them as I feel like I can. I'm sorry, you know, that it's impromptu. I'm going to try to get on a schedule soon if this works out good. But yeah, it's really something where I just feel the compulsion to do it, and I just jump on here and do it. My lady is watching. Please say hi to Jennifer Lawson. What's going on, Jennifer? How's it going, Jennifer? Do you like Jen? Jen or Jennifer? Jenny. Ah, that's funny. But I think I'm gonna jump off now. I'm getting pretty wiped. My jaws have been yakking for almost 2 hours. I can't believe it's been almost 2 hours. I can say I want to hit the 2 hour mark. I don't think I've done a 2 hour live. I got just under 9 minutes for 2 hours. So let's keep going. If you like the content that I've delivered so far, please smash that like button. Follow. Show love to some of my on some of my other videos. I have a ton of videos on there showing me doing my doing some of the work, the before and afters. Check out powercleanacademy.com right now. You can use the coupon code LIVE, L-I-V-E, to get buy one, get one free on the courses, pressure washing and soft washing courses. But again, that's going to be transitioning soon to a new platform over the next week or two. And if you buy a course on there, I'm of course going to transition you over to the new platform as well. So you're going to have that access as well. If you guys need help with sales or marketing, branding, Google Ads, Facebook ads, My Country Introspect web design, I'll drop that in the link below. Introspect web design, we can get you taken care of over there. We specialize in websites, designs. We can put together a logo for you. We can do your online ads the right way, especially Google ads. Google ads are really good because they're active buyers, and I already have all the negative keywords and data points for pressure washing, so I'm going to just be uploading all of that, and you're going to have effective Google ads almost right away. So that's a big benefit. Let me throw in that powercleanacademy.com. I'll throw that in there again. So if you guys want to check that out, say hello. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do another live, but every time I've done it, it's been a lot of fun. Seems like weekends are good, evenings are good. I don't know. You have to shoot me a message and let me know when is good for you guys. I don't know. If there's any kind of content that you want to see on my channel, on either the YouTube or on the TikTok, shoot me a message. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. I've done kind of like a walk around on my truck, breakdown on some of my systems. I've done, roof cleaning, metal roof cleaning. Yeah, all of those things. I'm going to continue to do those. Those are a lot of fun. I just uploaded a video today onto TikTok and YouTube Shorts. I got to edit the video for the long form YouTube, and then I have 2 more videos I need to edit for both of those. So it takes a long time. Takes a long time to get that together. Degreaser education, that's a good one. For that, I would want to bring in somebody. I know a guy that's like a nerd on that stuff, so I would want to bring in somebody on that. Maybe that's another thing I can do is can you use SH on rock fascia? Yeah, that's no problem. That's no problem at all. No problemo. Yeah, so maybe that's another thing that I'll do is I will bring somebody on live and we'll have like a discussion. I don't know if that's something you guys want to see, having another pro. Look at that tan line, that's crazy. Got the Apple Watch tan line right there. maybe that's what we'll do is we'll have like a back and forth about, you know, something in the industry and just chat it up a bit. Showcase AI in a future video to highlight its role in your marketing operations. Man, Jonathan, you're crazy. You are going crazy over there. But yeah, I could do that. You know, I'm talking. I do business consulting with my other business there, and I'm talking to somebody right now because they're trying to build out an AI business, and I told them to scrap that those things are already kind of in play, and I'm trying to convince them to work on prompts. I feel like prompts are going to be the way of the future for I think prompts are going to be the way of the future for the next AI business is going to make people millionaires. Is going to be prompts, because I think more people are going to need a lot of prompts. What kind of surfaces do you avoid with SH? Doors, painted doors. For some reason, they discolor painted doors or stained doors. So any kind of doors, any kind of front doors, man. I really don't like doing that. Anything electrical, and then hot metal. Hot metal will oxidize pretty fast. So garage doors, things like that. I try to stay, and then of course organics, plants, things like that. Oh, you look a bit like NPC. Funny. Showcase. Yeah. Showcase. Showcase AI. Yeah, I'll see if I can do something like that. Very little. How will prompts benefit your business financially and drive its growth? How will prompts benefit your business financially and drive its growth? Well, what I'm talking about is building a platform of prompts. So, like for example, I don't know if you guys follow AI too much. I don't want to get it too deep into the AI conversation, but there was a lawyer that wrote I think it was a motion to dismiss using AI. I believe it was a motion to dismiss using ChatGPT, and he utilized and ChatGPT created a bunch of fake or referenced a bunch of fake court cases as precedent, and it was like Jones versus the state of Detroit or state of Michigan, and it just used it created a bunch of fake court cases, and then he asked, are these court cases real? And ChatGPT was like, yeah, sure, of course. So like I know some lawyers, and it would be really cool to build prompts for them that all they would have to do in certain scenarios, they answer a few questions and then it generates things, and it generates documents, and of course it shouldn't be written where you have to cite other court cases, but or maybe you do that research on your own, but I think there are things that it could generate, like operating agreements, for example, or divorce paperwork, or a bunch of different things. And I think really well thought out and designed and upgraded prompts are a big way of the future. All right, I think we're getting down to it. I've only got a few minutes left. Or a few minutes. I've got, 30 seconds left, and then I've been talking for 2 hours. I'm tired. Talk too much. We've got some really great questions in this one. I really appreciate you guys for joining in, tuning in. hanging out with me. It's been really, really good. Again, make sure you hit that like button, and we'll talk more. And yeah, that sounds good. We just hit that 2-hour mark. Let's go. 2 hours. Woo! I'm tired. I'm gonna go drink some water. I'll catch all of you guys on the next one. Peace.